Hey, Toby here from HealingDrummer.com. Thanks for checking in and watching my video. This is the first in a series of 3 videos on the power of music. For the last 20 plus years I've been working in the field of therapeutic drumming and music, and God, I love it. It's so much fun. You know, making music and helping people is like, it doesn't get any better than that, at least for me. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is about what happens when you get down, how to shift to get yourself back up. I cannot tell you how many people a year call me that, you know, they have depression or depressive episodes that are immobilizing. One client in particular will, let's call her Jen. Jen came to me. She had seen me at a conference that I spoke at, and she's like, "Does this really work? This just seems like so out there." And I'm like, "Well, you know, the science of it is really sound." And she said, "But I go into a place that's like so deep, I can't pull out sometimes for weeks." You know, she said, I get by, but oh my God, sometimes I just cry." And I felt so bad for her. So she had a couple of live sessions. She came in and did some one-on-ones, and they seemed to help. But, you know, traveling out of town and then, you know, the session costs and so on and so forth, it became cost prohibitive for her. And so I recommended that she might use a soundtrack. And although the live drumming seemed more impactful, she couldn't imagine how just listening to an MP3 file would do anything. So I said, "Why don't you just give it a shot, and if it doesn't work, all good." So guess what? 3 days later, I get a phone call from her. 3 days after I had delivered the soundtrack, I get a call from her. "I never would have believed it," she said. "I feel so much better. I even have been wrestling on that edge where I'm about to fall into the pit, and I'm not going there. I just keep listening to my soundtrack." So it was really exciting to hear that. And then after a few months, I hadn't heard from her, and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, I hope she's okay." And sure enough, I get a phone call. I don't even recognize the voice on the other line. She's just ecstatic. She's like, "I haven't had a depressive episode in months. I'm so much more productive. I feel so much better." And I asked her, I said, "Now you're still listening to the soundtrack, right?" She said, "Yes." Because often, you know, it's kind of like taking, I'm going to stir some people up here, but kind of like taking antibiotics. You know, if you're into Western medicine, they say take the whole bottle, take all the antibiotics. A lot of times people will take just a few, they feel better, they quit taking it, boom, the condition comes back. Well, this doesn't have the side effects of antibiotics, but it works kind of the same way. It takes a while for your energy to shift when you've had a long-term pattern. Sometimes it takes a while to shift, and it was beautiful because Jen stuck with this for months. And I talk to her every once in a while. She's doing great, and man, it makes me happy to see people's lives get better through this amazing ancient art that's worked its way into modern society. I can't imagine doing anything more fun and more helpful to the world. So next week, I'm going to talk to you about a gentleman who is a very stressed out, incredibly skeptical entrepreneur who ended up having his first good night's sleep in years after listening to soundtrack. So stay tuned. I'll have one out next week. In the meantime, go to HealingDrummer.com. Check out the services section on the website. You can read about private sessions and the Shift It custom soundtracks. And also there's a free resources section that has 3 soundtracks that are fun. Check it out. See if it's for you. Okay? And in the meantime, have a great day. I hope life goes well for you. And if you don't drum, listen to some. Thanks. Toby here. See you next week.